Hi, I'm Reed Callum and I'm 20 weeks pregnant. In this video, I will be recapping the entire first half of my pregnancy as well as what happened at my 20-week ultrasound appointment. Stick around to the end of this video and you'll get to see the ultrasound pictures that I got at that appointment. The first trimester for me was pretty bad. I was very nauseous. I basically stayed in bed for most of the day and I lost my appetite and I stopped feeling hungry. And I was so nauseous that I was barely able to eat or drink pretty much anything for the most part. I had to force myself to eat a few meals a day, very small meals at that. I was very tired and all I wanted to do was sleep, so that's what I did most days. I didn't throw up too often. I did sometimes. Most of the time I felt like I had to gag and cough. And then I would have to settle myself down and breathe for a bit to stop myself from actually throwing up. But when I did throw up, it was usually right before I went to bed for some reason. Around weeks 12 and 13, so around the beginning of the second trimester, I started feeling a little better and I was less tired and I was able to eat a bit more, but I still had no appetite and I still didn't feel hungry throughout the day. So I kind of just had to be like, alright, it's lunchtime, I'm going to eat something for lunch, that type of thing. At the end of week 14, my belly started showing, which was the day after Thanksgiving or so. And I was, right after Thanksgiving, 2 days later, I got really nauseous for some reason and I slept. I was in bed for basically 2 days straight and I barely moved around and I just slept. And I ended up getting a horrible backache because of it. And I ended up going to the doctors because I also ended up getting a UTI at the same time, which has happened before, or I stayed in bed too long and I got a UTI. So I'm assuming that's the reason for that. But I went to the doctor and my back was already starting to get a bit better, so I didn't get anything prescribed for that. But I did get some nausea meds, which I don't really take. I have them for just in case. But I was hunched over for half a week or whatever after that because I just couldn't stand up straight because my back was so tight from laying down for 2 days. Weeks 15 through 18 I started feeling basically back to normal. I was tired a little bit towards the middle to end of the day, but other than that I was basically feeling normal amounts of energy and stuff like that. I would feel tired, but I wouldn't go to sleep so that I could sleep better throughout the night because the first trimester and everything, I was actually sleeping pretty bad. But I think it was mostly due to the nausea, but I started feeling much better around 15 to 18 weeks. Oh, and my appetite and feeling hungry actually came back around that same time, so it makes it so much easier to actually eat decent meals and snack throughout the day. Week 19, I started to feel babies kicking and moving around a little bit. It was kind of like a swooping motion, would be how I described it. It wasn't like an actual full-on kick or anything like that. But I also started getting some discomfort in my belly, external type discomfort. I'm pretty sure it was just skin and muscles stretching out a little bit and stuff like that. I'm currently 20 weeks pregnant and baby is kicking more. It's more actual punch type kicks, if that makes sense, not the swooping type motion. And my stomach has been a little bit uncomfortable as well. I've been making sure to put lotion and I put bio oil as well on morning and night, just to make sure that the skin is nice and elastic so that it can stretch well without giving me stretch marks, because I kind of don't want those. But we'll talk about my appointment and my ultrasound in just a second. The 20-week ultrasound took about an hour to do, so as soon as we got there we signed in and everything like that and waited to be called, and then we went straight back to do the ultrasound, and the ultrasound went great. They said baby was normal and everything looked good and baby was the right size for how old he is gestational time wise, which I was a little worried about because I'm a small person, so I was worried that baby would be small too, or that I haven't been eating enough, that I've been trying to, and I've been taking my prenatals and stuff, but I was just worried that baby wasn't getting what he needed, but he is, which is good because I was worried about that, and there's nothing to be worried about. Yeah, but they checked over a bunch of different things. They looked at his brain, his heart, his spine. I've heard other people call the 20-week ultrasound like anatomy screening. My ultrasound tech didn't use that specific word or anything like that, but it was like a much more in-depth scan than the two previous ultrasounds. But yeah, everything looked great, which is great. I was really happy to see that and everything. When we were leaving the doctor's, I was actually all happy and really excited and stuff like that. After the ultrasound, they got a urine sample, and then I went back with the nurse and we just did height and blood pressure, and those were all normal. My weight and my blood pressure. My blood pressure was good. 2 times ago when I went, it was a little low, but this time and the time before that, my blood pressure was both normal, so that's good. And my weight was actually 119 this time, and my weight prior to getting pregnant was 109. So it's actually kind of cool to see that I'm putting on some weight, because I didn't think I would put much on because I'm such a small person and whatnot. And then we met with the doctor, and he just went over with the Ultratech basically told us that everything was good and the baby was the right size and stuff like that, and that there was nothing to be worried about basically. And then I also asked him about starting to work out for pregnancy, because I want to make my birth process as easy as possible, because that is something that scares me, as I'm sure it scares many pregnant people. But I wanted to start getting into working out, so he gave me a little bit of advice about that. Basically stuff I already knew, but I just wanted to get the okay from him to start working out, and I got the okay. So starting Monday here, I'm going to start doing some light working out. I'm going to start out with some walking stuff just to get more motion and cardio and stuff like that, and then some very light exercise, and I'm going to work my way up a bit since I haven't done much exercise type stuff in a few years. And then after that, we made an appointment for 4 weeks from now, which will just be a normal visit to the doctor, no ultrasound, no blood test or anything like that, just a simple like check-in type visit. Alright, and now we're going to show you the ultrasound pictures, so I'm just going to scoot to the side so I can insert them nicely in here. So I've got 4 photos for you, 3 of which are portrait type side view stuff, and then 1 of baby's like leg from like the knee down. But here's the first one here. And what I really like about this one is that you can really see baby's face shape, and especially like the lips came out pretty clear, so you could see like the whole where the eyes are and the nose and the lips and everything, and I think that's really cool. And then we also have this one, which is a bit more zoomed out image of that. Basically, it didn't quite turn out as well with like the face shape as I was talking about, but it's still a really nice picture. And then we have this one, and this one's zoomed out even more. And what I think is cool about this picture is you can actually see the umbilical cord in it as well, which is cool. I was hoping to get one that was even more zoomed out, that you could see like the legs and stuff, but I think baby was a little too big for them to be able to zoom that far out. But then we got this last picture here. It's just a little throw-in picture, kinda. You got the leg, which was, I think, it's a really good picture of a leg, to be honest, in my opinion at least. But we did get a couple other photos that I'm not gonna show, just baby's genitals, so you know if it's a boy or a girl, because we decided to know, and I'm not gonna show those because I feel like that's a little odd. But yeah, so those are the ultrasound photos. And if you want daily updates about my pregnancy or just my life in general, you can go to the link in the description to my Instagram, where I post daily updates there. Or you can also go to the link to my TikTok, where I talk about being trans and being pregnant, and I also post daily on there. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button and comment down below any pregnancy, like 3rd trimester advice you could give me, because this is my first pregnancy. I have no idea what to expect, except expecting to get huge. But yeah, so go ahead and Also, subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell button so you get notified when I upload new videos.